Yo, what is good, everyone? It's AK Trades here with another trade recap of the day. Today is Monday, 6th April 2026. I'll be going over how I lost my funded accounts. Unfortunately, as you can see, I have nothing here. Hide inactive. This is another. These are below accounts. I literally got nothing. I literally blew 1,500, 3,000. I lost $3,000, but it's my fault. But of course, it's my fault. But let's get into it. So, going into the day, this is protected, cool, protected 4 hour. We are obviously in an uptrend. This is protected 1 hour, cool. Protected 4 hour, protected 1 hour. We pushed above these highs. If we are to be bullish, this 1 hour gap needs to hold. If we are to be bullish, this 1 hour gap needs to hold. This is a 1 hour Fibonacci gap top, and this is also a 15-minute Fibonacci gap top. So honestly, I would want to see longs before London gets hit, but mainly this 1 hour gap needs to hold. So 9 pre-market, just 1 minute before pre-market, we found an SMT inside this 1 hour gap and we displaced higher. So I assume that this was the manipulation. Found an SMT and we displaced higher. So assume this one's the manipulation. We took out this high and ES edged it. So I was waiting for so I assume that this is the manipulation, and because we are bullish and there is low resistance equity and relative equal highs at the top of the range, this was my draw for the day. Pretty clear, we're in bullish order flow, just continue being bullish until closing otherwise. So I assume that this was the start of the move, and this was the manipulation, true. And then after this candle, 932 candle, I saw that we also created a bearish S&P with these highs right here, and this is the leading pair. So this was a bearish S&P, and we created that bearish S&P, but then as soon as this got smashed through, I was like, okay, fine, we are bullish, because we're getting closer and closer to these. We started this low resistance equity run. We're like right here. We started this low resistance equity run, and my actual entry was like, this is the trade. Yeah, this is pretty much the trade. Goes against my rules of a 1:1.5, but again, like I was just confident. I was confident in this, and I got shit on, lost $500. And then once we came back down here, so I'm like, okay, fine, is this the fucking manipulation? So that was my first trade of the day, pretty much like this, and it was a good trade. I like it. Again, for obvious reasons, I assumed that the manipulation was done, and we are in bullish order flow, and we have good draw on equity here, relative equal highs up here, London highs pretty much, relative equal highs, London highs, and yeah, that's what I expected. However, we pushed down all the way lower, and I was like, okay, if we this is a protected point, so if we get rid of this protected point, I guess we're shorting. So I guess like I took a short here with my stops like tight over here, expecting us to flush lower, because if we were bearish, we should not get any reaction to sweeping these lows. We should just smash right through, and we had 2-day open. So this was my second loss. The reason why this isn't a good trade is because you realize I saw that we created equal highs on the 1 minute, on the 5 minute, which means that I knew that this was just setting up liquidity, and this move lower, I was pretty confident that this move lower was manipulation. So where could we manipulate to? Yes, could manipulate to these relative equal lows here. Maybe we manipulate to London lows and then we go higher. I don't know, but this is a bad trade, and I actually lost like a lot on it. Another 500 on it, and then I tilted, and then I had only 500 left for drawdown, and as soon as we started this low resistance liquidity run, like right here, I literally entered and my stop loss was like right here, which is 500, because I pretty much tilted. I expected us to push higher and continued in one candle, but we didn't, and didn't have a predicted stop loss, and then of course I blew my accounts. This trade was bad. I mean, fine, decent. It's kind of like what I take, but I don't have a predicted stop loss here. Um, this is the only good. My first trade was the only good trade. So I guess so some songs for you guys to identify manipulation. I identified that because we created equal highs up here, the move lower was the manipulation. So you're either deciding whether a move expansion or manipulation. Even though we created a protected point of price, we came down, pushed past lower. This low actually, which is London lows, is a 15-minute fair value gap down. So like this is also kind of protected, and if you look here, it's pretty much us tapping into OTE of the range again. We just tapped into 0.786 of this range. So if this range is gonna hold, we are gonna have to reject it right now, and that's exactly what we did. So the ideal trade, I guess, would have been after this. The ideal trade would have been this 2-minute inverse all the way up to here, because when we're in a range, we're rejecting this 15-minute gap, and we're rejecting a 1-hour gap as well. So when we're in a range, failed displacement ends up working out. So so this is the failed displacement leg, because this bearish leg should have continued if we're bearish, and we should not have gotten a bullish reaction sweeping lows. Bullish reaction sweeping lows, and counteracted displacement with an inverse, pretty much. So yeah, this obviously is not a good trade. So yeah, man, these are pretty much the trades I took. Tilted, basically revenge trade. This is not a good trade. My third trade was not a good trade. First trade also, risk reward wise, not the best, but yeah, man, what can we do? We live and we learn. So I revenge traded, really something I got a journal. I'm left with no accounts now. I was 1 day away from payout. But yeah, that's the reality of the game. So it seems like we wanted to push lower, generating more liquidity, because we're still in the manipulation time frame, and then we make it. That's pretty much it. So yeah, man, thanks guys for watching. Peace.